Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at basically at the 10th anniversary, no, the 9th anniversary part 1 of the Annie battle. Now this event has two missions. We have to complete it with super bosses, we have to complete it with superheroes, we also have to complete it no item. Now it's going to be easiest to complete it no item with the superheroes team taking on the Broly. And I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why is you have pretty good scaling on the superheroes team. The Broly event has a lot of health, but takes a while for the event to really kick up into full gear. And generally speaking, because it's monotype, even though the Beast Gohan one is monotype, I find it's generally speaking quite easier to handle. Superheroes is also just stronger than movie bosses. That's just, super bosses, that's just how it is. So basically, to cut a long story short, we kind of sit in a situation where it's like, okay, this is definitely probably the best variation of team to do the no item challenge with. Obviously, we have the challenge to do the super bosses, but that one we'll do on the second run through against Gohan, because it's quite challenging, and I found using items is the only real way to do it without needing to have very specific units. Obviously this is still challenging, so unfortunately if you are struggling with this, then there's not much you can do. You do need to have strong units to complete these, and the orbs unfortunately you only get by having these units like missions completed. So you can do the event, but you won't get the cool skill orbs without actually having like all of the missions completed and everything. So I think that's the one shame. But yeah, besides that, honestly speaking, I think for me, realistically, overall, pretty good stuff. I found that, for me, the superheroes team was pretty easy to put together. Obviously, the Easy A that has come now helps a ton. So that Easy A for the God Boys helps a huge amount. Your big struggling point in this challenge is the AoE normals that Broly does. Obviously, this is quite challenging, for players to handle, and I think for me this was obviously the biggest sticking point. Now most of these units are okay to handle it. You will take a little bit of chip damage later on, like the Gammas will take a bit of chip damage. Super Saiyan God Gogeta will take some damage if he doesn't get his evasion off, but as long as you can utilize the Beast Gohan skills when you feel they're necessary, you should be fine. Generally the timings work that around about the third phase of Broly was when I really needed to kind of start using the actives to provide security, but also to kind of ramp up the damage. You don't really want to spend too long taking on the final variation of Broly. Broly goes through like, how can I say, 4 upgrades. So, well, 3 upgrades. So you have Broly, then you'll change, then you'll change again, and then you'll become obviously full power Broly. You don't want to spend a lot of time against full power Broly, like at all. So you want to also save at least 1 intercept skill for that point, which is where we're at now. But you generally want to take him out in your first turn. Luckily, obviously he's immune to attack down, defense down, sealing, stunning, etc. But he is, for lack of a better term, like he is functionally able to be handled relatively easy elsewise. He doesn't crit, doesn't do anything like that. He doesn't have guaranteed hits. So I think like beyond that point, once you can get to the stage where you're taking on Broly, I think it's not so bad. Still challenging, of course, but not so bad. Not like so overwhelmingly difficult that it's impossible to take him on. It's the ramp up time and the strength of the superheroes team that really makes it manageable. Look, if you're looking for tankier units, you don't want to use SSG Goku. You can, Gogeta, you can use the tech SSG Goku. He'll handle his own. Can't guarantee he'll be able to tank a super even with his big damage reduction, but yeah. Now the Super Bosses challenge is a lot more difficult. I definitely wouldn't recommend taking on Broly. Broly has just too much health, and the AoE attacks would just give you too many problems. Really, it's just not something I would suggest. Instead, you can take on Gohan. Now, why I suggest taking on Gohan is Gohan has a lot less health. If you add up all 3 phases of Gohan, they come out to being just under half of Broly's health. So Gohan is a quicker fight, and this suits this team a lot more. You also have the advantage of being able to utilize a friend AGL Broly. If you don't have your own Broly, then look, I don't know how to help you. Try to run maybe the physical Super Saiyan Rose. He won't do as much damage, but he'll still be fine. Look, his consistency in tanking will be very all over the place, but he'll be fine. Like, he'll be fine to float. And yeah, I think overall you'll be okay. Cell Max is a great solution, obviously, as well. Now, in terms of like the unit that's premier for this event, so AGL LR Jiren is one that I see people using a lot. And if you're going to try to not item the Super Bosses one, I would probably say that Jiren is almost mandatory. Like, I don't think he's mandatory to beat the event, but if we're talking like winning and getting into item clearance, I really do think then that, yeah, Jiren is pretty important. Because, yeah, I think, like, all things considered, he is huge here because he can tank, he can absorb those first couple super attacks, and he can do big damage. And like I said, big damage is the big kind of way to beat this kind of Gogeta fight, you know? This Beast Gohan fight, because those big peaks of damage are where you're going to be able to kind of take out this Gohan, because he doesn't have a lot of health. If you were to, like, obviously push towards not really having the units necessary, then I completely understand. For me, the first phase is the hardest, because you need to try and get to the first phase without incurring too much damage. If you can get through the first phase, then, you know, things get a little bit better. You can use an item for the second phase. Should be able to beat that in 2 turns. The Broly should do enough damage with the Cell Max to get you through that. Then you start the third phase, and this one, look, use an item, no problem. Then you want to make sure that you also use the intercept skill of the Cell Max. That's something that I made sure that I did. So I used that intercept skill just to open up in that second phase if it was possible. Allows you to save your item, get some free damage in. The AGL Zamasu, I floated, I transformed and floated again to get some more damage out of him. The only thing you need to do is cater orbs towards the physical Broly Chilai Lemmo. I mean, that would be a hell of a card, but yeah. You need to make sure that you have the orbs for the Broly Chilai Lemmo, because if you are going to have them, they have to dodge. Like, they have to dodge. Basically, from the first phase, they have to dodge. Unless you have them rainbow and they somehow do like 5 supers, they'll still take a ton of damage. You need them to dodge. So basically, that's like your big kind of, I would say, clutch point, but it is very important. Like, it is a super important part of the situation. So yeah, I found like that was a really crucial moment. Aside from that, though, honestly, everything was more than fine. Realistically, I had a pretty interesting, albeit straightforward run. There were some challenges, definitely. There were some issues. I had to redo it a couple times because, like I said, if you can't, that first phase is where you have to take a lot of gambling because you can't use your items. Once I got to the second phase, it was very consistent to get to the third phase, and it was just kind of tweaking, getting that, like making sure I got the Cell Max active off, making sure that I used the Broly's active skill. You can use the Broly's domain skill at the back end of the second phase, just to provide some more security because of how long it lasts. But generally speaking, if you do things right, you have a Rainbow Burly friend, Gohan's last phase does not last more than maybe 2 turns and a bit if you get unlucky, and then you should be able to handle it, hopefully, with luck on him not supering you in the 3rd phase. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did. Let me know if you've got any issues. And yeah, otherwise I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and yeah, that's basically it for me. So all challenges done here. Pretty fun run, and yeah, bye.